Hana's eyes fluttered open, her senses slowly coming into focus. The warm morning sun streamed through the elaborate curtains, casting a soft glow over the lavish room. As she shifted in the plush bed, the unfamiliar weight of her body and the foreign surroundings filled her with a growing sense of disorientation.
Where am I?
Hana carefully sat up, taking in the ornate furnishings and the tapestries adorning the walls. This was no simple country cottage. The opulent setting suggested a level of wealth and grandeur that was completely foreign to her humble existence. Sliding her legs over the side of the bed, she realized with a start that the nightgown she wore was not her own. Hana's brow furrowed as she examined the delicate lace and silk, her fingers running over the intricate embroidery. This was not the simple cotton shift she had worn to bed the previous night. Panic began to rise within her as she struggled to piece together what had happened. Had she been robbed and left in a stranger's home? Or was this all some elaborate prank? Cautiously, Hana rose to her feet, her slippered steps carrying her towards the ornate vanity in the corner of the room. As she drew closer, she caught a glimpse of her reflection in the gilded mirror, and her breath caught in her throat. The face staring back at her was not her own. Gone were the familiar features she had known her entire life. The warm brown eyes, the dusting of freckles across her nose, the soft curve of her lips. Instead, she was met with the striking visage of a regal-looking woman, her auburn hair cascading in soft waves down her shoulders.
This can't be... How is it possible?
Panic welled up within her, her heart pounding against her chest as she struggled to make sense of the situation. She had to be dreaming. There was no other logical explanation for this bizarre turn of events. Hana closed her eyes, willing herself to wake up in her own bed, to feel the familiar weight of her husband's arm draped across her waist. But when she opened her eyes, the luxurious room remained, and the face in the mirror still did not belong to her. Hana's legs threatened to give way beneath her, and she grasped the edge of the vanity for support, her knuckles turning white with the strain.
What is happening to me?
Hana took a few deep, steadying breaths, forcing herself to remain calm. There had to be a rational explanation for all of this. She just had to find it. Slowly, she turned her attention to the rest of the room, searching for any clues that might shed light on her bizarre predicament. As she scanned the chamber, her gaze fell upon a nightstand where a delicately crafted music box sat. Curiosity piqued, Hana moved closer, her fingers tracing the intricate floral designs carved into the polished wood. Lifting the lid, a soft, melancholic melody began to play, and Hana felt a sudden rush of emotions wash over her. Tears welled in her eyes as she listened to the haunting tune, a deep sense of longing and sorrow filling her heart. It was as if the music had unlocked a hidden well of emotions within her, emotions that did not belong to Hana, but to the woman whose face she now wore. Hana closed the lid of the music box, the melody fading into silence. She needed to understand what was going on, to find a way to make sense of this surreal situation. Steeling her nerves, she moved towards the ornate wooden door, grasping the handle and taking a deep breath before pulling it open. The hallway beyond was just as lavish as the bedroom, with intricate tapestries and gleaming marble floors. Hana stepped out into the corridor, her slippered feet making barely a sound as she made her way cautiously towards the nearest window. As she drew closer, the view outside took her breath away. Sprawling gardens, lush and verdant, stretched out as far as the eye could see, dotted with carefully manicured hedges and a sparkling fountain in the distance. Hana pressed her face against the glass, her eyes widening in awe at the sheer scale and opulence of the estate.
This is not my home.
Hana stepped back, her mind racing as she tried to piece together the puzzle. Where was she? And how had she ended up in this unfamiliar, lavish setting, wearing the face of a woman she did not know? She glanced back towards the bedroom, her gaze lingering on the music box that had evoked such a deep, visceral response within her. There was something more to this, something that went beyond a simple case of mistaken identity or a bizarre dream. Hana took a deep, steadying breath, her fingers trembling slightly as she made her way back towards the bed. She needed to search for answers, to find some clue that would help her understand what was happening. As she sat down on the edge of the mattress, her eyes fell upon a small table by the window, where a leather-bound journal lay. Hana hesitated for a moment, unsure if she should pry into someone else's personal belongings. But the need to understand her predicament overrode her reservations, and she reached for the journal, her fingers gently caressing the worn cover.
Forgive me.